What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DCU Penn's finest, Chris Coulter, CB Culture Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. Gonna do a little bit of a March Madness update, of course. Lots of transfer portal going on. Sweet 16 is all assembled, but we will be starting our quarterback or our prospect review, starting with the quarterbacks as always. This, I know we used to do a little bit of a different format, probably like our best, someone who's going to be a bust, a sleeper, a favorite. We're just going to rank our top 5 guys and then give you guys a deep cut who will probably be picked on day 3, someone who could pleasantly surprise a team with their talents. And the more you look at this quarterback class, I truly believe, it's a little bit deeper than you may think. But before we get into any of that, remember, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss a single upload for any of the great shows on this network. Audio listeners, do the same thing you've always been doing. Leave a like, download the episode, 5-star review, comment if you can, all that good stuff. But let's swing it to Danny for summits and plummets.
Yeah, I think my summit, it's going to be how tan I am right now. It's like, can't complain.
You have to appreciate the greatness.
Summertime's around the corner. You lost the stash, but the tan comes in, so it fits the vibe. So
exactly. Because imagine you got the tan and then you shave your mustache, and now you have a pale stash.
Yeah. So can't complain about the weather. 77 degrees in Philadelphia, double summit on Saturday. That's a beautiful sight. It's almost like global warming's doing its job. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Can't complain about the weather at all. We certainly need to hit a beach trip before I go down to Puerto Rico. I'm not going down there and wasting 3 days on sunburn. Need to get acclimated prior.
That's what happens when you're.
So by the time I go down there, I'm already tan. Yes. My skin is, but really you too, because you got the Greek skin too. It's the epitome of I understand it now. Just get quick burn and then we're good for the rest of the summer. So
Chris,
I gotta get it early.
It's bad though, because like if parts of your body burn, but other parts don't, you're gonna be really tan in certain areas. And like if let's say you got a shirt on, and you tan your arms and your like your face, but you didn't take your shirt off, so like you're gonna burn on your chest, but your arms are just gonna tan. So it's like what the?
That's why it needs to be a beach trip, because like with basketball, we'd be out there all day playing ball. So I got a little bit of a farmer's tan, or let's say I'm wearing a beater, got a little beater tan. But if I just hit the beach first, the whole body gets acclimated, and we're good. We're good. Sure. But yeah, let's swing it to Chris.
Well, one, I don't think I've ever had a noticeable tan, which is crazy, because I think I'm gonna try to go figure that out. I may burn my skin, but who knows? I'll update y'all in the pod. Y'all find out what happens to me when I go stand in the sun. So we'll see. I'm going to Costa Rica in May. Maybe I'll try it then. See if I can get me a little tan on.
Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, Danny, you have to go to the Dominican Republic.
Somewhere.
I'm going to Australia or Italy.
Hey,
you're going down.
Don't let the kangaroos let you near water though.
I'm going to find Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons and make a hybrid.
Ooh,
Ben Simmons ducks the international smoke. You're getting Matisse Thybulle and Patty Mills, buddy.
Unfortunately, and Dante Exum, just for a little bit of first, what I don't even want to do. Oh, Plummet. We lost our 3rd game in a row in our men's league yesterday. Apparently, we're washed. We were up 14 the first half, lost by 4. We are losers. I'm just kidding, but we have been losing. Last 3 games we're losing. Plummet, and then double Plummet, even though I'm actually not even in a bad mood. Juju tore ACL yesterday, and that made me very, very sad. And it's crazy because I literally just turned on the game, and I just seen her fall. And the first thing I said, I was like, ACL, because I seen it. I seen it, and I hate that I was right, bro. It really made me sad. But the good thing about Juju, she's a sophomore, so she can just take the redshirt year and still come back and probably be hopefully better than ever. Nike bag's still on the way, so shout out to Juju. But yeah, that made me sad. I have to throw a Summer next. I did throw in 2 plummets. I'm going back to my old school this weekend for Black Alumni Weekend. So my first time going back since I graduated in 2017. 16. So yeah, I'm
And
excited.
since they
Since they
decided to make the tournament.
yeah. Since they actually decided to be a good basketball school for a minute, and we don't have a football team. SIU does not have a football team, so basketball rules at SIU. So I'm excited to go back just to see some of my friends, but also just to see what's changed. I know, funny enough, when I was there, we didn't have Uber and stuff. Like no Uber Eats, no DoorDash.
I forgot you were in the Project X era.
Yes, I was in the
Bro, no DoorDash in
regular-
college would have melted
Man,
me. Oh my
Chris,
god.
Yeah.
Look, I call everything pre-Uber Project X. Everything
That's-
else is
Project X, what does that even mean?
But
You never seen the
imagine
movie
being
Project
hungry.
X?
No, I haven't.
The
I'm not a
movie?
big movie person.
Oh, you gotta
I'm
see
not
it
a
now.
big movie person.
You
All
gotta
right,
see it.
look, Project
You
X
getting
is
me
like
to watch Invincible? You could put that on your resume. I'm not gonna lie.
all right, so Project X is a movie where they throw a big party, pretty much.
Yes,
It goes crazy.
ridiculous party. And
Like-
then every party after that was supposed to be like everybody who threw a party was it's gonna be Project X.
Oh, we gonna throw Project X.
and you're never gonna get Project X now. Never.
No.
It was different.
Oh, okay.
Very different.
Okay.
I'm surprised you've never heard of Project X. That's pretty.
Yeah,
that's
that
pretty mainstream.
much less never watched. I've never even heard of it.
And
Which
you
is
know the crazy thing about what y'all said, no DoorDash and stuff, like no DoorDash or Uber. I graduated college 2016. Like imagine being hungry after 9 o'clock.
It's delivery still.
But if you don't have a car, you're only getting pizza or a sandwich.
That's
You're
fair.
not getting anything fun. So like
What
when
you
you get to a
know.
pizza place, and
It's
you
10 o'clock at night. You want pizza?
yeah, but think about it. If I did want
Danny,
pizza,
you know that's not always true.
or if I wanted wings, I have to get
Oh,
wings
yeah.
from Domino's. I can't even get wings from a good place. I have to get
Wings
pizza
from
Hut
Domino's, dude.
GG.
Wings from Domino's.
Domino's wings are horrible.
They're actually not
Mind you,
even.
I'm the
wings,
type
they're
of
just
person.
all
It don't got to be elite. Like Domino's pizza is fine. I'm not some
It's fine.
elitist. It's like I'm not
Yes,
eating
it's fine.
Domino's.
It's fine.
I was even telling Danny yesterday. I don't really like Wendy's. I haven't gotten Wendy's willingly, probably ever in my life. But like, I'm not no elitist. I'm not above being like, you want some fries? I'm like, yeah, sure. But
Yeah, put the fries
those
in the
wings are
bag.
horrible. No way. No way. But the reason I said to Danny, I was like, you don't always want a Big Mac after 10 p.m. or want a pizza. Sometimes you want that Big Mac.
Sometimes you want a gyro, and it's gone.
A what?
Gyro, a lamb gyro.
Yeah, bro. That's that Greek
What did-
London,
what did-
whatever
what did,
he was.
What did Jalen Hurts say? John 13:7. You may not know now, but you understand.
I will never go, bro. I'm probably not going to London if I had to guess. But you know what? I'll keep that one in my back pocket for sure.
That's Greek. It's Greek. It's very Greek.
It's Greek. Okay, maybe I'll change my mind.
Chicago loves gyros so much, bro. They love them. They love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. And I've not had one I liked, unfortunately.
A food that can be pronounced two different ways needs
Nah,
to be
so
punched.
basically-
If it's a person, it needs to be punched in the face. It's like someone with two first names.
Americans call it gyros because they the way if they try to say euro, it sounds like they're saying euro, like the currency. So they say gyro.
I've never used euro in the context of talking about the dollar and only about the great Manu Ginobili. Which I guess I could say. No, I guess I could say that's a plummet. So there's this great page on TikTok. It's like lunch table.
It's called Sideline Summit.
That too, but they bring up like big hypothetical matchups, great things. Like they had a post about the Gary disciples and just ranking all these defenders. How much are they really like Gary Payton? Guys like Marcus Smart, Dyson Daniels, Andrew Nemhard. And they had another one where it was like, okay, let's compare the 2014 Spurs to the 2024 Celtics. Two entirely different brands of basketball, but were far and away the best team in basketball their respective year. And it was just insane to me. I know Chris isn't the biggest Jaylen Brown fan, but I think Chris would agree with me. All-star peak Jaylen Brown is better than baby Kawhi. Because simply based on baby Kawhi, like wasn't a real offensive player yet. And the comments is just losing their minds, and it's like they're like Kawhi guarded LeBron. What is Jaylen Brown going to do against him? I'm like, look, that is fantastic. That in your head you believe Kawhi would be guarding Jaylen Brown. That's really good for you. But the Celtics play such a brand. Like if the Heat were able to get LeBron switched off of Kawhi so much, I don't necessarily know what you believe the Celtics are about to do. The most switch-happy mismatch hunting team in the league. And that's not me saying the Celtics are going to win. I do think the Spurs would win that matchup. in probably like a 6-7 game series. But I don't know. It's just like the 2024 Celtics, people just particularly do not like that team. And they didn't necessarily do anything to deserve it. So I guess that's a plummet. But Summit it's game day tomorrow. So by the time people are watching this, it'll be game day. So you need to be locked in. And I got this cool headband from the show called Soul Eater. If you've never watched Soul Eater, it's one of those anime where I feel like it one doesn't get the recognition it deserves, and two, I feel like everyone can watch it. Like anyone can sit down and watch Dragon Ball. Anybody can sit down and watch Naruto for the most part, but this is one of those shows, I promise you. Very good show. Very I don't know. It's one of my favorites. One of the first anime I've ever watched. So shout out to it. But let's move on over to this March Madness update. Bunch of stuff happening. 700 plus players in the portal, including guys who haven't even taken off their Michigan jerseys, aka Pippen's second oldest. I think it's the second oldest. I don't know their whole family tree. I'm making things up. And then you have teams who have moved on to the Sweet 16. Cooper has gotten the best of VJ once again, but it was really Tyrese Proctor who stole the show with 7 threes. And people are saying this is the most boring March Madness ever.
I don't know about that.
I think that's
there's
stupid.
Not crazy upsets, but the big thing that's taken over is the page emotion. All these teams, BYU's running the page emotion.
Oh, yes.
Chris, you familiar with this?
The Peja, like Peja Stojakovic?
Exactly.
With who?
BYU's running this page emotion a lot.
Oh yeah. It's kind of not kind of, but it's like the opposite of the Iverson series. So basically, Iverson has a series where you bring your best player over the top to cut, and you like switch the two separate big men there. Yeah, the Pages series is basically the same for shooters or for people who can get their own shot. Yeah, it's very
well. Dope. What BYU's doing really well as it is, they do it, and then it's a two-way go. You can shoot, or what you could do is turn it into a drive, and you put them in hell because they're just getting stuck behind you, and then it's Trae Young, Jalen Brunson game. So it's
throw them in jail.
BYU, not the most athletic players, not the greatest team, but sure can they run this play?
Yeah, they're sneaky athletic guys.
Yeah, I mean next year they're gonna have the best. Next year they get the best player in the country playing for them. So
they have a number one commit.
AJ Dibonsa, the
right, yes.
He got like $4 million.
They didn't pay enough. Honestly, it should have been 10 for him to go to BYU, but that's just me. Shout out to AJ.
Bro, you got to live in Utah and come on.
But the good thing about him, though, I'm telling y'all right now, I know everybody's not a huge college buff, but watch. It's going to be another transfer portal point guard to go join them. They're a really, really good one that goes to BYU. And this tournament run is going to help as well.
Yeah, it's going to be Caleb Love for his 8th year.
Oh, no, Caleb Love, you have to go get your CDL, brother. Sorry. And we're about to go put that belt to Arizona.
It's so crazy because Caleb Love, after his freshman year, I just will never understand him coming back. Never will understand him. You beat Duke twice, one time in the Final Four, and you had a so-so championship. Dude, you should have been out of there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now you are. Yeah, and you're still here. I can't believe him and Coale were the same high school class. That's ridiculous.
This sounds crazy. Caleb Love and Caleb Downs are grouped in the same group of Caleb's in my head, but they shouldn't be.
They definitely shouldn't be.
Caleb Downs is awesome.
Caleb Downs is arguably the best player in college football.
Yeah, I think he needs to be a top 5 pick next year.
Caleb Downs is a beast. Caleb Love, on the other hand, good basketball player, 10% chance to go, Kobe Bryant,
Yeah, he'll make the NBA, though. Caleb Love make the NBA.
I see him having a G League masterclass of a career.
Wait,
and maybe he's a role player, but
it's just guys like him. NBA serves them better just because college isn't made for one guy to go do what they can do. In NBA, you can do that, and with more leash, you can.
What's the probability Mikey Williams makes the NBA?
Low. But
it's low. It's low, but it's low. But I'll be the first to say it ain't over.
He'll be a pro though. He'll be an overseas pro if anything. He'll be a pro.
Yeah,
100%.
it's just
Oh yeah,
so
I know.
weird.
They
I
love
was just thinking about
a
him
Kendrick
today.
Nunn over there. So you know they'll put up with Mikey Williams.
It's just crazy. Their freshman year of high school, him, DJ Wagner, 1 and 2 players in the country. Bronny was like a top 25 prospect as well. And DJ of course, DJ got a little bit better. Very good. One of the best players on this 10-seeded Arkansas team, who no one would be surprised if they push through and make the Final Four if they go 2 for 2 this weekend. And then, like, if you were to watch Mikey Williams now, watch him as a freshman, he is just the same player. He's just a very athletic guy who can shoot. Don't get me wrong, and that's kind of like prototypical guy you want in the league. But he's so ball dominant that it's just so strange to see Bronny lap him, because when they played Blue Chips, Mikey was easily the best player on the team. But Bronny's developed. He's unlocked 10% of Braun for all. So he's really starting to get his aggression together. 39 points last night.
It's a difference between being a good basketball player and being a good 5-on-5 basketball player. Like, for example, Shane Larkin is one of the best basketball. No, I wouldn't even use Shane Larkin. Mike James is one of the best basketball players I've ever seen. Light-skinned Mike James, the tattoos, he had great ones on the Nets. He can't play team basketball, which doesn't mean he can't beat NBA players, but just team basketball wins in NBA. Like they said, like, I forget who we were talking about. Max Strus. Max Strus was 30 points a game in high school, 20 points a game in college, blah, blah, blah. He had to find a niche in the NBA and just be a 3-and-D guy, because you have to be able to play 5-on-5 basketball. And some of these guys just won't do it.
Yeah. Carson Edwards, electric in the tournament, phenomenal one-on-one player, just wouldn't cut it on the court. A little bit of defensive issues, but, also it's just kind of the player you are. And that's why I kind of credit Peyton Pritchard a lot. That is a one-on-one basketball player if I've ever seen one in my life. But he learned his role. I'm a spark plug. I got the green light as much as anybody else, but I do know there is just a little bit of a limit when I'm sharing the court with Jaylen Brown, with Jason Tatum, with Kristaps Porzingis. I can't tell you how.
Shout out to Magula for not having him have to share the court as much. Like, let him go by himself and then get on his.
Funny enough, I think the best net rating group that the Celtics roll out outside of their healthy starting 5 is Tatum. I think it's Tatum, Holiday, and the white guys. Or it's like Tatum and the quote white guys, including Derek White. And it's like Cornette, Hauser, and Pritchard. Like, Tatum just knows how to like run those lineups. He had 25, 8, and 7 through 26 minutes last night. And that should have been a summit, but Tatum, we're officially averaging 6 assists per game on the year. We're at 27, 8, and 6. Great if you ask me. Not MVP like, but we're locking up that first team All-NBA. But do you guys want to do there's not that many games. We obviously don't have the Sweet 6 or the Elite 8 together. But if I run through all 8 of these games for this Thursday and Friday, you guys want to pick them?
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be different than what you maybe picked originally in your bracket, but nonetheless, we start at the first 7 o'clock game on Thursday. BYU 6 seed versus 2 seeded Alabama. I do want to give credit to RMU for giving Alabama a pretty good sweat. I'm not going to lie. Shout out RMU.
Really good basketball players on that team.
Very good. They were what's his name? Fouled out with 25 points. I forget his name.
Yeah, he'll be a pro too. Maybe not NBA pro, but he'll be a pro. He's very good. He's Hooper. But I'm picking Alabama and one of my favorite players in this next draft, Grant Nelson.
Marcus
He hasn't been good this year. Marcus Sears is fire. I don't even mention him. He's so good. But Grant Nelson's my guy. He had a bad year in Alabama, but
Grant Nelson is the king of the quick pump rip through.
Well, Grant, that's my guy, bro. He's an NBA player. I mean, he's a pro for sure. He's a pro. That's my guy.
He screams like career EuroLeaguer.
I'm cool with that. As long as he's a pro, I'm cool with that. He's my guy. He's my guy.
Danny, who are you rolling with?
I mean, Marcus Sears, Grant Nelson, they're not going to lose.
Yeah.
Look, they got the length to compete with BYU's little, like I said,
that's it right there. That's it right there.
You have to have a length to play over top of that, and we'll be able to recover.
Yep.
So
that's a big point, Danny, too. That's a good point because you got to be able to.
I'll go Alabama as well. Let's go to the next game. It's Maryland versus Florida. They're saying when you enter Maryland, if you go to Baltimore, you got to check in with Derek Queen first.
Top 10 pick, by the way. I told y'all months ago. I did. I hope y'all remember. I got to find the show. I told y'all. Derek
definitely did.
Yeah. But his run ends. Maryland loses to Walter Clayton and the boys in Florida. Walter Clayton, the Florida team, they just keep at you. Like, it feels like everybody who plays can attack, shoot, dribble, and put the ball on the floor. So I think it's just going to be a little too much. I hope Maryland can win, but smart man to me picked Florida.
Yeah, this feels like the Celtics met up with the Nuggets, almost, where Derek Queen is Jokic, and Florida has 5 guys that can shoot lights out and just run the ball. So, obviously, in the NBA, I'm picking the Celtics, but I think this time I'll roll with the Nuggets in Maryland. I think if they can limit Florida's three-point shooting ability, or Florida has a bad game, Maryland has all the pieces to make it happen. And we saw Florida didn't have a dominant win. They didn't have a UConn style win when they way UConn beat every team by 13 points.
Yeah, and when they played Norfolk State that game. Yeah. You're right, Danny. They gotta run them off the 3. They keep on the double-digit threes made, they win. Maryland can keep them under 10, 12 threes made, they should win.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with Florida. I have them winning one of my brackets of the best defensive team in the country, in my opinion. Maryland, they're very top-heavy when it comes to, being a scoring unit, which isn't necessarily bad in the tournament. You're not rolling out, your 9th, 10th guy on the floor. Yeah. But I think Florida is a little bit more built for, you can say that them as a team are tourney-made. Derek Queen is tourney-made for sure. He's built for this, but one guy versus 6, 7 guys, it's a little bit different. Let's move to the next game. Arizona, 4 seed, taking on the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, they asked Caleb Love, "How are you getting ready for Duke?" He was like, we go watch film."
He didn't want to say what he wanted to say. He had something under his breath. I know he wanted to say. I know it was seeping. He wanted to say, "We're gonna beat they." He wanted to say, having enough confidence. He was.
They say he was scared to say anything.
He was scared to say what he wanted to say. He had some choice words. I know it.
I think I know where we're all going.
I don't.
Danny, are you going Arizona? No. Oh, you say you don't see the Blue Devils losing. Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, especially if Tyrese Proctor is going to be shooting like that. Cooper Flag didn't even have the most efficient game last time out, but he still brings it all. Complete Swiss Army knife, 18, 9, and 6 last game. Yeah, I mean, he's
my hot take is college basketball should be 2 years minimum if they're going to college, or they should have to go to G League. If they want to do 1 year, they should go to G League.
Similar to baseball?
They should do 2 years minimum. Because look, football, I get it, like 3 years in minimum, because they have to play it's a different physical beast. But imagine seeing Jared McCain on this team. Imagine seeing teams grow together. Imagine seeing a 3rd-year Paolo on this team.
Chill. So we're talking a team that has Paolo, Jared McCain, Tyrese Proctor, Cooper Flag. I mean, realistically, with how all those pieces fit together, they could be one of the greatest college teams of all time.
The only problem with that is, which I think that would help college. I think Cooper Flag doesn't come. He doesn't go to Duke.
He would just
you know what I'm saying? I think that would be the only thing. Some of those guys would just pick another place. I'm not saying Duke goes to North Carolina. I mean, Cooper goes to North Carolina, but if Paolo's there, he literally plays your spot, does what you do. You're probably not going there. So I think that's the only thing. That's the only thing that was scary.
That's good though.
2-year thing though. But it spreads the talent out though.
It spreads the talent. Or if they want to go one and done, they just got to go to G League.
I'm picking Duke in this game though, because Zion James is one of the best connecting pieces in recent college history. I want people to understand and know his name, and not just know about Cooper Flag and Tyrese Proctor. And it's a get back game too for a bunch of people on that Duke roster. So I'm excited to see this game. I'm excited, but I think Duke wins. I think Caleb Love has a big game, and this is the thing that's gonna get him drafted early second round in the NBA. I think this will be that game.
Yep.
It's one of those. But it lost in a loss.
Let's move on to what could be the most exciting game of the weekend. Number 10, Arkansas. Calipari's got his dudes back in the Sweet 16 against number 3, Texas Tech.
This Arkansas team is a lot better than people think. Boogie Flan, I think one of the best college basketball names, obviously, but he's awesome. Controls the game. I'm taking Arkansas here. I think they seem built to make a run. Remind me of the Miami team 2 years ago, a little bit. With Miami would obviously run the pace a lot, but I mean Arkansas is not sprinting the floor, but remind me a lot of the vibes of the Miami team.
Yeah, well, Boogie Flan his name is canceled out because of JT Toppin, but I agree with the Arkansas team. Like the 10 seed is such a mask, in my opinion, for how talented they are. You have former number 1 All-American guys like DJ Wagner, and he's bought into your system. That hasn't always been the case. There are 5-star guys who come in, they kind of just want to do their own thing, sleepwalk until they get to the NBA. I'm also going to go Arkansas here because I had either the winner of this game or the winner of last game between Calipari and Pitino. Whoever was winning was going to go to the Elite 8. So I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm going to go Arkansas here.
Did you know 4 out of the last 5 years a 10 seed beat a 2 seed in round 2?
Yep.
Wow.
That's where all the upsets happen for real. The 10-2 and the 13-4s, that's usually your best chance to get an upset for those early games. Usually your best one. But I got Arkansas too, though. I think Arkansas wins. DJ Wagner's one of the kids who I think Caleb Love situation, I think he should have left. Just capitalize off that momentum he had coming in, even though he didn't play that great. But I think he's going to keep trying to punch his ticket to the NBA and move up draft boards. So I think it's a big game for him. Boogie Flan, one of the best scorers in college basketball. They also have a very good big man in Arkansas. They remind me of a Coach Coale team from Kentucky. Like they remind me of one with dynamic guards, one really, really good big guy, and then super athletes all around. So I think they're just made for Elite 8 type of run too. So at the least.
It would just be very ironic that if one of Calipari's very, very few runs as an underseed, like not a top 8 seed, he does all the upsetting and he goes all the way.
And I hope he does, bro, because I want him to get his credit. Because they only give him credit for recruiting. Like Coach Coale gets you. You go to Coach Coale, you know where you want to go. He's going to get you there. He got Daniel Orton drafted in the first round, first 14 picks. I do want people to understand that. I want that to be understood about Coach Coale. Respect Coach Coale. Seriously,
I mean,
where they were now.
You go and get some upsets if you're there that much. So, let's move on to the first game from the next day. We're going to have number 6 Ole Miss versus number 2 Michigan State.
I got Michigan State here.
It's my biggest lock of the day.
Yeah,
I'd agree.
Shout out Chase Wilson.
Next game, this arguably biggest game of the weekend, or Sweet 16. We got Kentucky versus Tennessee, 3 seed versus 2 seed, SEC bloodbath.
I got Tennessee. Pick my boy Zakai.
I think Sky Ziegler is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that this Tennessee team feels destined to make a run. They seem, to me, they almost just be a Final Four team almost. But I'm taking Tennessee. It's not an upset, but it's something
like a cultural upset.
Yeah, exactly.
Sense. Like most people look at Kentucky blue blood on paper. It's like, no, I trust them a little bit more. This is kind of similar to Tennessee beating Alabama a couple years ago, where it's like Alabama wasn't the greatest that year, but it's like, it's Alabama. I'm taking them over any version of Tennessee. And then Tennessee beats Bryce Young in a shootout. So
I think the difference is there's no Cal in Kentucky anymore. He's in Arkansas. That's the difference. And like I think the new coach of Kentucky is pretty good, but I think Tennessee's got too much pedigree in basketball that people just don't think about. And their coach is really, really good. And I think they just wear you down. And in college, a lot of time wearing a team down kind of beats talent. Like if you could just prove and push your system and push how you play for 40 minutes, that can a lot of times beat talent. And I think that's what will happen in this Tennessee-Kentucky game.
Yeah, I'll be a lone wolf on this one. I'm gonna take Kentucky. I have no logic behind Westchester's finest, Andrew Carr. So only reason I'm going with Kentucky, but I could definitely see Tennessee winning. I'm not above that. Next, another really good game. I mean, like, this is going to be a great weekend. This is what happens when you don't get too many upsets. You get absolute bloodbaths from the Sweet 16 on. It's going to be competitive basketball. We got Michigan, number 5 seed, against number 1 seed Auburn.
Yeah, I think Michigan stinks. I don't think they're a good basketball team.
Them and Texas A&M and the fraud off.
Literally,
Michigan prevailed. Does that mean they're more frauds than A&M? Time will tell.
They out-frauded the fraudulent frauders.
Exactly. So what does that make them?
I think I'm taking Auburn minus 13.5 here. I think that they blow them out. I'm a big fan of what Auburn's been doing. So
I'll go Auburn too.
Tahad Pettiford, learn the name. He may not be leaving this year, but whenever he does, he's going to be very special. Johnny Broome has his best games against smaller front lines. Bigger front lines, and even though Michigan's bigger, they're not that good. Danny Wolf is good, though. I think Danny Wolf is okay at what he does in college, but he won't be good at the next level. I think it's going to be a really, really good game, though. It's going to be a really good game. But I think Auburn wins. I think they just have a little bit too much advantage in the departments where Michigan usually has advantage against other people. So
I see that.
And then last game before we head on to our quarterback prospects, Purdue versus Houston.
Houston, LJ Cryer and company. Let's get it. I want them to win.
This Purdue team doesn't belong to be here, to be completely honest with you.
Shout out Braden Smith, though. Really good.
He's been there for like 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. Rebounding assist. He's probably 26, I think. But hey,
Drew Timme type player.
Milk that money. Yes. But
Drew Timme just hit like a G League game winner. Am I making that up?
He certainly did. But at 28 years old, it's about time.
All right.
It's like Cam McCormick.
I'm going Houston. LJ Cryer is as tourney made as it gets.
A $10 parlay of all of our picks pays out $400.
I need that and send it to me, please.
Yes.
Yes, send that in the chat. Thank you.
And you can get an odds boost. You can get an odds boost on it. Get it up to 460. So
I had thoughts.
Hey, we're there. We'll be there no matter what. But let's move to these quarterback prospects. Again, we'll be kind of ranking our own top 5s. And then we'll give one deep cut each. Let's start with all of our quarterback ones. I think it'll be one of 2 guys, but at my one, I have Cam Ward. It was Sanders for a little bit. I've come around to Cam Ward being the best quarterback in this class.
Yeah, Cam Ward has been my number 1 since before the season. I had him winning Heisman before the season. He obviously didn't, but
almost.
So yeah, I've loved him. I've been a big fan of his. I think his pocket presence is hilarious. So yeah, I think he might be one.
Yeah. And with Ward, it can't go without saying, okay, it's a little bit of, you're banking on potential. The arm strength is tremendous, but with guys who have insane arm strength like that, they like to bank on throwing back foot. They think their arm can make every throw on the field, which it can. The accuracy, the mechanics, they do start to crumble a little bit. The pocket calmness is good. The awareness is a little different. He's always cool back there. It doesn't necessarily mean he's always protected or he's always aware. That's something that I think he'll work on.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's my quarterback 1. I think will be the first quarterback off the board. I guess you could say he has a little bit more hero tendencies than Sanders. That's just me. Chris, do you have Sanders at 1, or are you with us? Have you Danny's always been Team Ward. I've come around to Team Ward, but what's your preference?
Shedeur's. I think Cam's the most talented, but I think for the NFL, Shedeur may be a little more calm. So it's hard for me, and y'all know I'm a Shedeur guy through and through. But I'd give Cam just the nod over just off the athleticism alone, just having those traits. I think Shedeur can be a better pure passer. He's got the same amount of toughness and all those things, but just being able to be more athletic, that just lends you to do more things. That's just how the body works, how life works. So I would just give Cam the edge in there. Yeah,
I think it's completely fine. I think if we all go to our second guy, we all have Shedeur Sanders out of college.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're all in that perfect timing. Shedeur, kind of the issues you have with Ward, you won't find them with him. He is insanely accurate. Might not have the most zip on the ball the way that Cam Ward will, but if Sanders is attempting a throw, it's going to be accurate. It's going to be on time. One may say the timing would be perfect. And my real only knock on Sanders that kind of prevents me from putting him at quarterback one, his pocket presence while making a leap in year two is still a little. Sometimes he won't step up when he should. Sometimes he'll bail on a pocket when he's not necessarily the most athletic guy. I think he certainly has enough to get it done. Don't get me wrong. Especially on the back half of the year, he was making some pretty incredible things happen with his feet.
That boy was scurrying when that Pat Mahomes scurry.
Yeah, basically. And when called upon to, dial up the deep shot, he did it. The game against Baylor, essentially off his back foot, throws a 50-yard laser to Leicester, and then they go win it in overtime. So that's what I got.
Remember the one bounced off his chest? Play before? He threw like a laser and it bounced.
Oh yeah, and he couldn't catch it because his chest was where his hands would need to be. Oops.
That game was amazing. Like, we touched down in New Orleans in time for the fourth quarter, watched the Hail Mary happen. We watched Travis make that dude fumble at the goal line, and then you get the Kai Cenat dog celebration.
We were at Barstool in Center City in Philadelphia, and they decided to turn the game off in the fourth quarter right before that. So we had a group of guys watching my phone right in front of me.
Yeah, bro. Y'all were at a Barstool bar?
Yeah, we were at the
I'm chalking that up to prejudice at the bare minimum. It's crazy.
No.
Oh my God.
They started like playing like music or whatever.
Oh my God. If you're gonna put on the music, you gotta put on that perfect time.
Honestly, like what is the Ox doing?
Look, you can cut off the commentary, but just play that perfect timing over Shedeur
on a loop. The song is 2 minutes. You can play it for 30 minutes.
It was like midnight.
That game was on late. You're right.
It was a late game.
Oh yeah. I mean, just because they're not Pac-12 anymore, it's the Pac-12 after dark.
After Lakers halftime.
As long as you have some ties over there.
After Lakers halftime hours.
After Lakers halftime.
Soon as halftime,
no, Lakers games aren't for the week, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
11:40. I hated when Brian went there 90% just because of that right there. I don't want to have to start my games at 9:30. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But let's move to our quarterback threes, where we'll probably start to differentiate. Probably gets down to the type of prospect you want, what kind of potential you're banking on. Do you want more of a sure thing? My quarterback three is Jalen Milroe. When we're talking an athlete at the quarterback position, I think the best guy we've seen since Lamar Jackson. Not only that, Jalen Milroe is a little bit more physical of a runner. Not that you necessarily need your quarterback to be a bulldozer, but he's got a nice frame, smaller hands. I've never really cared about that. The only reason it was a big deal with Kenny Pickett is because he actually wasn't good. So with Milroe, though, I always say he's just a very, very extremely raw quarterback. But I'm willing to bank on that. If I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers, if I'm even a Seattle Seahawks,
if I'm an Indianapolis Colt,
if I'm the Colts and we're sitting second, third round, it's like, wow, Jalen Milroe's still on the board. Let me give Nick Saban a call. What's he think about this kid? And Nick Saban will, tell you the goods. And it's kind of the same thing in basketball. If you give Coach K a call and they say he's like, this kid's this and that, yeah, you're probably gonna pick him. So I got Milroe. I think if he manages to slide to the third round, he's going to be the steal of the draft, in my opinion. I don't care how raw he is now. I think you get him in the right situation. Let's even say the Giants pass on a quarterback and they want Milroe down the road. That Brian Dable has worked with what I believe worst quarterback prospect in Daniel Jones. Didn't like him at all coming out of Duke. So I think if you get him in the right situation by year 3, you got a franchise guy.
Yeah. I just let you know, he won't fall out of the first round.
Just hypothetically.
No, I know. He's not going outside the first round. There will be 4 quarterbacks go in the first round.
4?
Correct.
Are you assuming Dart?
Jackson Dart is my QB3. I like his look. So many people can probably say Jackson Dart feels Trey Lancey in the fact that he doesn't have multiple seasons put together that are beautiful, and he's he's just efficient, and he just has this big arm that he doesn't really have the film look. Jackson Dart, he's not the elite level athlete that Milroe might be. He can make any throw on the football field. He is an above average athlete. He can still run. He can still make plays outside the pocket. And he feels to me like a better version of Will Levis coming out of Kentucky.
I think the comp is interesting.
No, I'm talking about out of the drafts a couple years ago. People were Will Levis, big arm.
I say the only difference I think between those two, just specifically as prospects, is I think Dart's mechanics get a little wobbly when we're starting to really push it downfield. Before I get into like extra main criticisms of Dart, because he's my quarterback 4, we'll go to Chris for his quarterback 3.
Oh yeah, my quarterback 3 is Jalen Milroe. I think the reason I have him at 3 over Dart, I like Dart too. From what I've looked at, just paying a little more attention to him, and people here love Jackson Dart because
How could you not?
yeah, they love him. For me, the only thing I give the edge to, the same reason why I gave the edge to Cam over Shedeur, I think Jalen Milroe is just a special athlete. So if anything, I would take a chance just on that potential alone, just being able to make plays and figure out the NFL with athleticism. I know we've seen it go not so great early on with Anthony Richardson, but I still got to believe Anthony Richardson still. But I think a guy with elite athleticism like that, I think you kind of can just take a chance on. So with a quarterback class that doesn't scream superstar anywhere off rip, I would take a chance at a superstar type athlete in Milroe. So that's why I have him.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I'll say this: I think the Pittsburgh Steelers take him at 21. I don't think he falls past 21.
Milroe or Dart?
Milroe.
Okay.
I just think it feels like so if the Steelers have been known they're getting a QB, a high level QB in this draft or the next draft. And with the moves, what they've been indicating to me is they aren't going to be bad enough to get Archie Manning. They're not going to be bad enough to go get a top guy without giving up 3 to 4 first round picks to move up from 20 to 1 or 3 or 2, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I think they're taking Dart or Milroe. Hypothetically, a lot of people have Shedeur Sanders sliding. He slides to 10. The Steelers will be on the line. Omar Khan is a different GM. If he slides outside of the top 5, they will certainly be on the line making a call.
Yeah, and with Sanders, it's like because of a quarterback needy class, I think he'll go in the top 5. Do I think he's one of the 5 best prospects in this class? Probably not. I think he's more about like the 15th to 25th best prospect in the class. But quarterbacks, you can always draft ahead. But if they truly manage to let him fall, teams are going to regret that. And teams like the Steelers should indeed be making the calls. The thing with Dart, though, it's kind of the same thing. Not the same way I felt about Matt Corral. Dart is 10 million times a prospect than Matt Corral. But the thing with guys coming out of Ole Miss, kind of the similar deal with Tennessee quarterbacks, everything's RPO, one-step drop. You never really got to sit back and read a defense. And it's not like you can't make a career out of that. Derek Carr still plays in the National Football League, and that's what his career is about. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl off it. Who am I kidding? But I just think that Dart needs a little bit more time. Probably isn't a starter right away, but, get him in a little bit more of a pro offense. I think he's got good tools. Could probably handle pocket adversity a little bit better as well. But he's still my quarterback 4. I'm still in love with the accuracy. Does the little things right, and certainly has potential as a true pocket passer.
Yeah, I love that. Like I said, Milroe is my 4 as well.
Yeah.
So
it seems
Milroe,
to be you have again top 2 guys, the next 2 guys, and then your 5 is who's your favorite white boy out there.
And
I don't know.
I think my favorite thing to look at here is pretty interesting. Is what are you looking for? And it's I think the Steelers might go with Milroe because of the fact that, look, if you're going to beat Lamar Jackson, if you're going to beat Patrick Mahomes, you're going to beat Josh Allen, you need a Jalen Milroe. You need, I think, like I said, like they might already have a Jackson Dart in Mason Rudolph, to be quite honest.
Yeah. You need a guy with superpowers.
Yeah. And they already had one in Justin Fields, but I'm kidding. He kind of does, but
He has a superpower. That is for sure. And
he
I
has
think that's
one.
why a lot of people love to bank on Justin Fields because he's got at least one superpower on him, and it's that he is one of the most electric players in the league. So
yeah. So yeah. I love this the top four here. I do think it's Cam Ward, Gap, Shedeur, Gap, and then these two. And then it's Gap.
I see it more as tiers. I don't know if there's a huge gap between Warren and Sanders.
I agree.
I'm not
There's
mad
a
at
gap,
that
though.
take. I'm not mad at that take, but I do think tier 1 is Ward Sanders. Tier 2, Milroe Dart. Tier 3, your favorite white boy and beyond. So
Tier 3, my two favorite white boys. One's from Philly, and the other one is
my white boy's from Philly too. So
and the other one is not from Philly, but he played in Texas at Texas.
Was clogging up the lane. Yeah.
Hey,
that's what he was doing. Dynasty starts after you, buddy.
My QB5, he threw to Marvin Harrison Jr. in high school and went to St. Joe's Prep. It's Coale McCord.
Yeah. Chris, is Dart your 4? You can go ahead with your 5 before I go with mine.
Dart's my 4. And at 5, I was in between a few different quarterbacks. I'm going to put Riley Leonard at 5.
Okay.
Just dual threat ability in the NFL this year. I mean, in the NFL now, just having the threat to be able to actually use your legs and do something, I think it's very, very, very valuable. To Danny's point, if you're going to beat some of the better quarterbacks in the NFL today, you probably going to need a guy who can do some of what they can do as far as being able to throw it and run effectively. So yeah, I take Riley Leonard. And like I said, I think one thing I always show love to in college football, especially is playing competition. I think Notre Dame's played a lot of comp, so I'd give him a little bit of love just for rising up to the pressure in a lot of those games and still being pretty good. So I give him the nod at 5.
Yeah, I mean Penn State was marching to the national championship until Riley Leonard got back in the game, and then his aura compelled Penn State. And even against Ohio State, they got down big, and then Riley Leonard, he's like, "I'm down, I'm not out though." And it kind of took Ohio State going beyond their limit, going out of their comfort zone to throw a deep ball to Jeremiah Smith to put that game away. So I'm not mad at Riley Leonard at 5 at all.
Let's not fool ourselves though. Penn State would have gotten 35-0.
We would have cooked Will Howard actually.
Not a chance.
And I would have found Jeremiah Smith lives before the game starts. So don't get it twisted. But my quarterback 5, like Danny, I agree. It's Coale McCord. Coale McCord at Ohio State was not the same player that we saw this year at Syracuse. Very timid passer at Ohio State. Still a lackluster athlete, to put it nicely. But Syracuse, I think, he played definitely more free. They trusted him there. And the confidence showed, as the season went on, he's racking up the passing yards most in the nation. Did have that. I think it was against Pitt. I think it was against Pitt. He had a horrible game, but he had a successful season, all things considered. He's still relatively young. Is he a statue? No. Does he have any superpowers? No. But I think a serviceable backup career. I don't think he's going to be anyone's starter, anyone's savior. But I like him. Accurate. He's on time.
It's going to sound really weird. Blend of Baker Mayfield and Brock Purdy.
I feel like you're saying the Baker one because of the rib cage making him look fat. But I see it though. I mean, like lightning quick release like Baker.
Yeah, he's like he kind of plays like the same game style of Mayfield with a little bit of creation of like the random creation of Brock Purdy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like the creation isn't due to like anything super athletic that we're taking home, but it's kind of just like dude, just get on the ground. Like his escapability is credible, to say that. We'll put it
Yo,
that way.
craziest thing is he had some dogs at Syracuse.
Oh yes, oh yes. That Syracuse team was good.
They knocked Miami. They said Miami at home, buddy. You're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Ward would probably be a foregone conclusion if he cracked the playoffs. But I think he would
maybe.
because he'd get to play more football.
Drew Aller
But
was
he subbed out
potentially
at
top 10
halftime
pick.
of the Pop-Tart Bowl, which is his choice. I'm not mad at him for that. But
Good.
I don't know. Me personally, if I'm in the Pop-Tart Bowl, I'm giving it 110% as if this is the last game I'm ever playing in my life. I'm
What if we
putting my life on a
rename it
line for that huge edible Pop-Tart.
Legendary Foods Bowl for protein Pop Tarts? Just a thought.
Legendary sweet roll. Which, by the way, shameless plug. This is more so for Danny. We do have a couple cases of the chocolate sweet rolls that are like 50% off. But I probably should have just texted you that. Hopefully, we have no one who lives in the relative area and goes to steal all those.
Go hard on them.
Yeah. Now let's get into who our favorite deep cut would be. I can go first. This guy is definitely not one of the top 10 guys. I would say this is more just a guy that I really, really enjoyed watching. He didn't really, his college career didn't end, amazingly. He played horrible against Penn State in the first round. But Kevin Jennings he's got a smaller frame. And he can be a little erratic at times. Layups, throws aren't usually there. Like the fourth down where he could have ran for it or threw it, he threw it and it completely airmailed. Those bad. But I like his creation ability. I think in the right system, you could really get the most out of him as a quarterback. I think what he did for SMU football, I mean, he got him in the college football playoff. Like, and sure, wins aren't a quarterback stat, but I think I'd like to say that says a lot about him. Wish I could find his quarterback or his combine numbers right off the bat. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at someone with a good arm, electric running ability, is a little sporadic, probably still a raw prospect, but like, hey, he gets in the right spot to develop, I think he's got a lot of upside, but he's gonna have to bulk up just a little bit, not too much, but that's my guy, Kevin Jennings, quarterback out of SMU.
Yeah, I think he played a little development ball. He could play a little running back in the NFL. I'm kidding, but
if he had to switch positions, I'm sure he would have, he wouldn't break a sweat. You know what I'm saying? Like he could do it. I don't know.
He could. That's what I'm saying. He could. He definitely could.
I don't think he should. Go for what's yours, of course. And Danny, I'm sure your sleeper quarterback is DJ Ugalele, right?
Nah, not sure. I'll let you guess though. Do take a real guess.
How deep cut are we talking?
I got two.
Okay, is one of them KJ Jefferson?
No.
Okay. I don't know. Yo, okay. I'm not. This isn't a guess, but JT Daniels is in this draft. JT Daniels. Yep. For reference, I'm pretty sure he went to school. He went to Georgia while George Pickens was there.
Sounds about right.
And he was already like a junior at that rate. Okay, I'll give it two more guesses. Is it Tyler Show?
That's one of them.
Okay, that's one. And then just gonna say Donovan Smith.
Nah, it's Curtis.
Those
Rourke.
are kind of like the end of the top 10, fringe top 10 guys on most sites.
I think Curtis Rourke showed he can man an elite level offense this year.
Yeah,
I think Cignetti really got him. He brought in. Look, Cignetti said, "I'm a winner. Search me up." Look, Rourke had a solid college career, but Cignetti kind of elevated his game to the next level. So I think Rourke could be a really, really solid backup for his NFL career.
Yeah, and he's an experienced guy. So
look, I don't think these guys are better than Will Howard. I think Will Howard's like QB7. Like, I think Will Howard has the legitimate chance to come in, sit behind Tua. Tua retires and take over. Now, I'm not wishing that on Tua, but I think if something like that were to happen, I think Will Howard could be a very, very solid, doable quarterback.
Yeah, except the only problem sitting behind Tua is he has to go through demon Zach Wilson. So
Zach Wilson.
but yeah,
Zach
Will
Wilson
Howard
in
is
Miami,
certainly
by
one
the
of my
way.
top 7 quarterbacks, especially with the way he played in the playoffs.
Zach Wilson in Miami, so he's around the plastic central of the world.
Just a BYU Mormon just a couple years ago, surrounded by Miami girls. How will the kid react?
We already saw how he reacted once with his teammate's
With his friend's
mom.
mom.
His best friend, by the way.
Best
Well,
friend's
he's in
mom.
Miami. Turn up another notch, I'd say.
We in Miami.
He'd be turning up another notch, I'd say.
Yeah, I like that pick though. Chris, who's your favorite deep cut for this year's class?
It wasn't even a quarterback. So I literally failed the assignment. But I was gonna say Will Howard only because I like guys who get hated on and then they come back and prove something. So I think if he does make it to NFL level, I think he would have a chip on his shoulder like 90% of the NFL would. But I just root for him to be good because at a place like Ohio State, it's easy to sink or swim. And I think when it mattered most, he swam. He's had some times where he sunk a lot. But I think when it matters most, and I think that's when you really need your quarterback to perform when the pressure's on, he proved that he could. So I'm hoping he does well. And like I said, he's been higher on boards than he has been before. So I take the easy way out, I think, and take him as my deep cut guy. But I hope he does well because of what I've seen.
You know how the NBA draft last year was like, oh, this is where a lot of teams are going to find their role players?
Yeah.
This is where a lot of teams will find their QB2s.
Backups, yeah.
Yeah. It's an important role. It really is.
The Eagles, obviously, they have McKee. I can see him taking a Dylan Gabriel.
Wouldn't be the first time we took some old head coach. I mean, Ian Book somehow ends up on the Eagles once a year. So
Well,
he does, but the Eagles do
I'll
need
take
a
the other
QB3.
Notre Dame kid though on our team. I mean, Riley Leonard. Get ready to learn some fullback, pal.
Jalen Milroe, you are a Baltimore Raven in round 3. We will trade you Lamar Jackson, and then we will
Lamar
trade
Jackson, Jalen Milroe, Derrick Henry, triple option. I'm afraid the league is done and we're reverting back to the 20s.
Justice Hill is in there somewhere. I have to put my guy Justice somewhere. He can play wide out right now in that offense.
Justice Hill's
he's grabbing Milroe's water.
Keaton Mitchell's back.
No,
Justice Hill, we're good. We're good.
Justice Hill, we're good.
Don't you try to call Cowherd my legendary GOAT, Justice Hill.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, Colin Cowherd,
idiot,
the greatest women's basketball player on the planet, Angel Wilson.
No. That wasn't him. That was the other dude. The dude sits across from him. Whoever that idiot.
Oh, right. Still, he has no business.
He didn't know Brianna Stewart was on the Liberty
TV package, bro. Give me out.
He didn't know Brianna Stewart was on the Liberty.
Yeah, that's one of the best basketball players ever.
Elijah Wilson. I want him in the torture chamber tonight. I want him to be put in the torture chamber. That's what he's
Sabrina Ionescu.
He said, "I think she's on the team." He said, "I think."
Sabrina Ionescu, if had a tournament, I don't even want to like the numbers Pritchard and Ionescu would have done for Oregon basketball if they got a tournament is. I stay awake at night thinking about these things, but I'm gonna go through the top 5 quarterbacks. I'm gonna say their names, and y'all give me where you want them to go in this upcoming draft. Do you have something before we start?
Yeah, I wanted to mention. Here's gonna be my betting lock of the week. Ready? We're gonna start to integrate. Tyler O'Neill has homered in 5 straight opening days.
Okay.
Plus 400 to hit a home run on opening day. Let's put that out there for you.
Okay. No, let me note that real quick. Tyler O'Neill home run opening day. Okay. Got that note.
Insane. That 5 straight opening days. That's pretty
I feel like if you had to tell me who if I had to guess who did it, I would have guessed Kyle Schwarber first. But
it's always an obscure player that's locked in. He probably
for some cool stat. Yeah, that's how it rolls.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. Cam Ward will be a.
Tennessee Titan.
Tennessee Titan. I think he goes
Shedeur
first.
Sanders will be.
A New York Giant.
Pittsburgh Steeler.
Whoa. Okay. Well, it's where you want him to go, so this is fair.
No,
Jalen
I mean,
Milroe will be.
I'll comment on that after.
A New York Jet.
Okay.
New York Giant.
Okay. Jackson Dart will be a.
Pittsburgh Steelers. It screams it. Got you. Got you, Dane. Don't worry. You got your guy. I got you.
Los Angeles Ram.
Okay. Okay. And finally, so we all kind of had a different 5. So I'll do both of them. Kyle McCord will be a.
A Jaguar.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I was thinking Jags.
Okay.
I'll
I
go
like
different. I'll go different. I was thinking Jags or Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Bills go. We're the Spider-Man meme right now. I literally was going to say the Bills before the Jaguars.
And then, since Chris's 5 was Riley Leonard will be a.
A Bill. Because dual threat. You see what I'm cooking here? Josh Allen says he's done with football like Michael Jordan did, goes to play lacrosse, clears out of my conference, get him out of there, and then Riley Leonard steps in.
I got another one. Arizona Cardinal.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. And finally, DJ Ukulele will be.
A UPS driver.
Walmart.
I was going to say flipping patties, but
Open to work.
Walmart is a decent career.
It is
too good for DJ Ukulele.
Hey, them boys had DJ Ukulele
work.
on NCAA 25 like covers they were making them with. I'm like, brother,
Yo,
slow down.
Put him on LinkedIn 2K26.
Even better, DJ Ukulele will be Ashton Hall's replacement.
Oh, that would be actually.
You know what's actually hilarious? So someone found an old tweet. The Ravens
Apparently cut
a corner named Ashton Hall. It's a different Ashton Hall, but it's just like wow. So that's where he gets all the money from.
But he's a
buy
football
glass bottles of
player,
Saratoga water.
Alcorn State, bro.
Yeah, I see he was a football player. Yeah,
Alcorn State. You gonna tell me Alcorn
He run
State's
the same too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Football at the college level is football at the college level. If you ask me, them boys.
Yo, there's no way he's real. There's no way he's a real person.
He is.
I'm gonna try that.
I follow his lifestyle. By the time this episode comes out, I've been up for 6 hours doing nothing but dumping my head into lemon ice water and being on the phone with the guys saying, "We need to get it to 10,000."
We do. And the crazy thing about that is, I'm going to try that water thing tomorrow. And if I don't feel refreshed, or if I don't feel like I have more money in my account, he gonna have to see me.
It's just like
no way.
There's benefits to an ice bath, of course, but dumping your face in some water for like 5 seconds, like I don't necessarily know how much you could really get in those 5 seconds.
I do love turning on some cold water and like splash myself. Like
it wakes you up a little bit. I also don't know why in part of the skit you purposely shatter your glass bottle.
That made me mad.
And then you make that poor woman pick it up.
Yep, that made me mad.
Yo, you see the dude place the bowl of water on the table.
No, there was one where he pulls up, puts a book in front of him, and then literally stands up and then moves the book out of the way. No time passed, so he didn't read it.
Dude, I saw like a video. He was like, "Oh, whatever you do in life, there's gonna be people that hate on your lifestyle, and you have to choose to be a leader or a follower." And I'm a leader, and I'm like, bro, there's no way
Drew
you're
Walls
justifying.
wasn't complaining like this, bro.
And Drew Walls is back now. Dude brought Drew Walls out of retirement. He went and did.
And here's the thing. People were
after.
saying Drew Walls can't win this because he doesn't have, all the, the fancy water and the watches and all that. I'm like, but that's why he will win. It's just a regular day in the life. A guy who goes to Trader Joe's, gets fruit, get flowers for his daughter. Like, he's the real winner here. I don't need Mr. Saratoga man with his white woman butler and his friend acting as a bodyguard, handing him watermelon after he shoots that strong jumper.
Desmond Bain better not play bad, or short arm man.
It is so.
You will be Desmond Bain. You will.
I will say, I think it's super important to emphasize. It is hilarious what all the teams on social media are doing. Like the memes that the Chargers and the NFL teams, the NBA teams are posting.
Yeah. The
McDonald's had
Celtics were
one
like
too.
waking up for our LA road trip because obviously like time zone is thrown off, and they did the one where he's full gray suit with his face in the ice bowl.
Bro,
The best one is when he
McDonald's
jumped into the pool and he like jumped 30 feet high.
had one.
Yeah,
That
he was in the air.
before.
He was in the air for 4 minutes according to his TikTok timestamps.
McDonald's had the one where TikTok timestamp. McDonald's had the one where it was a bowl of Sprite. It's like,
Oh no!
but your eyes may fall out your head. I would not do that. I would not do that.
Yeah,
McDonald's
and
my diff.
then rubbing fruit on his face and whatnot. Look, I
What was that?
The
What was the
benefits,
banana
like-
peel, dude? What does that do? What's the banana
Look,
peel?
I'm not
Come
gonna
on now.
look. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I haven't researched it myself. I don't know what the antioxidants in bananas can truly do for your skin.
I don't know. Let's try out.
Do it. All right. Don't do it right now. I
had it in my
know a
pocket.
pre-gym banana when I see one.
I had it in my pocket.
Good. It was steeping like tea. That sounds good.
You had a banana just in your pocket on go.
Correct. On go.
Honestly, we need to
On go.
we need to normalize stuff like that. We need to normalize stuff like that.
Be on the
If
go.
I pull, I don't know, like just a drink. I pull a Diet Coke out of my pocket. Let's normalize that. Pull an energy drink out of my back pocket. Yeah, it was there. So what? You know what I'm saying? But that's
Yo,
everything we
same
got.
Thing. We go to the Eagles game. You open up your jacket, pastrami
have a-
sandwich.
Yeah, that was top 5, dude. That was so funny. I'm like, we were at halftime. Danny whips out the Wawa sandwich. It's legendary. It's so legendary. I can't hate on it. It's so
Yo,
legendary.
You know,
As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you can bring it in.
Know something I did before? I remember that Harold's we were talking about,
Yep.
that chicken place. I brought a 6-wing into a movie theater before. That's a fact. I did. Do
Yo,
that.
I saw this TikTok video
I
where
did.
it's like, we're bringing obscure things into the movie theater. Could
That's
we
what made
get
me think
away
about
with
it.
Someone put like
That's what made me think about
a pizza box in
Birthday
their
cake.
book bag.
Was a
Somebody
birthday cake
put-
before the thing.
He had like 8 hot dogs. And he put them back in the package and his stuff. Why are you bringing that many hot dogs to the movie theater? You're making me mad.
Yeah, bro, you can't do 8 in a 2-hour movie. If you can, you need to go see a doctor because that's not
Yeah.
good.
Bull brought cereal and milk. I'm like, bro, I'm not here.
Talk about
But
it.
that's everything we got for you guys today. Again, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, make sure you leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode. All those great things from AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, and Fanny Coale. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week.